2016 is now over. Now I know you expect me to join the memes and draw 2016 on fire and draw lots of dead faces, but I'm not that good at drawing, so even if I tried, you'd be like, who's that meant to be? And I'd be like, Harambe. Anyway, this is my Draw My Life 2016. For the most part, 2016 started out okay for me. I got to see my favorite musician play my favorite album live. I flew out to Washington, DC just to see Jack's Mannequin Everything in Transit 10th anniversary show, and it was everything I'd hoped it'd be and more. Think of your dream concert, because this was mine. However, when I got back from my trip, 2016 kicked in with, drumroll, visa issues. Wow, wouldn't be an Edinger video without problems staying in the country. In January, I found out I was being let go, which means I had 2 months to find another job or leave the country and my friends and my life, and luckily, when I found out the news, I told Dodie, who then threw me a big "you're being let go" surprise party featuring cake, pizza, and lots of friends. It was very nice and overwhelming, because within the next couple weeks, Dodie and I actually moved out of our flat in South London, which is very surprising because I could have sworn this never happened in the last year. 2016 had so many things happen. And so, we bid goodbye to the Doven flat, I looked up a place I could stay on spare room, and made myself at home on the river. In the meantime though, I found out about this super rare visa that I could apply for that might just solve all my worries. It took a lot of paperwork, recommendation letters, and favors pulled in, but I eventually applied. You see, the thing about my job was that as much as I enjoyed it, it really held me back from what I could be doing with my YouTube channel. Coincidentally, the week after I was let go, I was offered a chance to go on the trip of a lifetime to the east coast of Australia with Kentucky. I got to learn to surf in Coffs Harbour, and I actually stood up on the board at least twice. I skydived for the first time in my life, which is only scary for the first 2 seconds after the jump, then it's fun. And I got to see so many beautiful beaches that my Instagram was shook. After I was done with Australia, I continued my trip by going on a road trip of New Zealand's South Island. Because I was alone, I got the chance to go exploring loads of Lord of the Rings filming locations that I don't think I could have brought many people along with. One of my favorite parts of the trip was finding the hill of orcs that Aragorn and Legolas found when they were looking for Merry and Pippin. After this, I went to Playlist Live, hung out with friends there, and then flew to Tunisia, acting in a series of videos that are used as ads throughout Eastern Europe, so if you were in a cinema in Poland or Russia anytime in the last 6 months, you may have just seen my face. Ending off my amazing trip, I joined some friends of mine in Peru with Kentucky again. The high altitudes of Cusco definitely got me, and I felt lightheaded for the first half of the trip, but seeing Machu Picchu made it all worth it. It was all so exciting, and all things that I could never have done if I hadn't been let go. The more I looked at my life this way, the more I saw the positivity this negative thing had on my life. Once I got back, I found out I'd been approved for the super good visa, which meant I could stay in the UK for a long while and without worry. Everything seemed to be working out for me, so much so, look how terrifying I look. That's how genuinely happy I was. I look like a monster. That's how happy I was. After a nice month of not traveling much, I then sprung for trips to Berlin and Vienna. I loved the culture so much, and even just being there for under a week, I felt my German improve. Ich muss mein Deutsch verbessern. In the summer, I got to meet loads of you at VidCon in California and Summer in the City in London. I tried my hardest to meet as many of you as possible and stayed until the last few people were in the building, and it was really nice. As you can see, I'm really good at giving bear claw peace signs. That's what that's supposed to be. 2016 wasn't finished giving me stress yet though, because this time it turns out I was kind of homeless. Even though I was barely even in the flat, I was traveling all the time, my flatmates were kicking me out. They wanted the whole flat to themselves. So luckily I got a chance to live in Brighton for 2 weeks at my friend Connie's old place. Brighton is a cute little seaside town south of London. Despite my confusion for my future, I really liked it down there and I wouldn't have minded staying longer. The only downside was the hills. My legs are still feeling super buff after a couple Brighton strolls. Check out that beefy leg. So now the goal was to find out where I was going to live. I was looking into London flats with my friend Connie, and the first one we actually found ended up being perfect. Rare for house hunting, I know, but at the last second, one of our flatmates bailed out and I was literally asking everyone and their mother to join our flat. Sadly, Astrid didn't want to join, but we got Luke. I moved in and set up shop, and finally it felt like home again, though I do have to deal with the house having a weird milky scent. I then got to explore Bangkok with my friend Doug, France and Connie with Luke, and Stockholm with my friend Tom. However, while I was in Stockholm flying my drone around the autumn leaves, I got hit with one last bit of bad news for the year. My father had just passed away. I was mostly fine about it for the first 2 weeks, and I'd make a lot of jokes about it to make myself feel better, but it wasn't until I was at Comic-Con in Belgium that my mental state utterly collapsed. I feel bad for any viewer that met me in Brussels, because, it wasn't really me. I feel like everything in me was just gone. Since then, I still feel like I've been in a bit of a blurry funk. Even with cool travel trips to Yosemite and such, I still felt like a top that's lost its balance. The good news is that just as I did with the act of being let go in the beginning of the year, I need to focus on the positives. I had an amazing year with, yes, quite a few big bumps, but I had some great friends that helped me get by. 2017 already has my heart aflutter with all the amount of things that I have planned, and it only is going to get better. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want, you can thumb me. Also, check out my last video. It was a song cover. What? Edinger makes music? I mean, sometimes I kind of try. Anyway, I'd like to tag Luke and Connie to draw their lives in 2016. Otherwise, this whiteboard is literally only going to be used once. I feel bad about that. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next week. Happy New Year.